diabolically clever little device which is designed to kill the cat when an atomic particle is decayed to a predetermined state. Now, since quantum cannot tell us the exact time the particle will decay sufficiently to trigger said device, we can therefore never know the exact status of the cat. So it must be said to exist in a state of quantum flux, being both alive and dead simultaneously. It is this theory I wish to illustrate tonight. Not with the cat, because it really didn't work out well in rehearsal. But in fact, these two cylinders, one of which contains a bottle and the other a glass. And since no one knows which cylinder contains what object, the contents of these cylinders are right now in a state of quantum flux, and I can honestly tell you that each contains both a bottle and a glass simultaneously, and will continue to do so until their waveform collapses by lifting the cylinder. Therefore, you can see that there's a bottle here and a glass here. Isn't science? But not very entertaining. For that, we need to rely on the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, which states that by simply observing an event, it changes. So we've observed the bottle here and the glass here. That means they change, and the bottle is now here and the glass here. This I will verify. Oh, my mic's not working? Do I? Oh. It's done. There we go. Okay, sorry. Did you miss that first part, or do I have to start over? You're good. All right. I really don't need a mic for a theater this size. I can hit the back of the stage. But nonetheless, where was I? Oh, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Since I have observed them in their changed state, that means that they now revert to their original positions with the glass here and the bottle here. But I sense skepticism, which is good. Science is built on a healthy foundation of skepticism. Since this is science and not philosophy, you demand empirical proof. So since we have observed them in their original state, they now go to their secondary state with the glass here and the bottle here. And this will happen every time you observe them until you stop looking. This can be illustrated by covering them up once again. And everybody looking up here, don't look at the cylinders, look up here, and you will see that they do not change places. Many people would look on this as a mistake. I, however, like to look at it as a wonderful demonstration of the Schwarzschild space-time continuum equations. What you mistakenly believe to be two different bottles here at the same time are in fact two of the same bottle, but here from different times. But regardless of that fact, we have too many bottles, and I shall remove them from the equation. This now allows me to demonstrate one of the finer points of Einstein's theory of relativity. From your relative position, it looks to you as if I am in possession of two glasses, one under each cylinder. However, from my relative position, I know this to be an impossibility, because if we were to have two glasses, this would undercut one of Newton's prime laws, which states that two objects can occupy the same space at the same time. So, if I have a glass under this cylinder, it is impossible for there to be a glass under this cylinder, because that's where the bottle is. The only way that I could get a glass under this cylinder is to remove the bottle, which creates a void or a vacuum, which, as we all know, nature abhors, so it fills it with a glass. leaving this bottle empty for another bottle. So, let us review. I first demonstrated the Schrodinger's cat paradox by having the waveform collapse around a glass and a bottle. I then demonstrated the Heisenberg uncertainty principle by having the glass and the bottle change places. I then had the Schwarzschild space-time continuum equation demonstrated by bringing forth two of the same bottle at the same time. Two of the same bottle, but from different times. I'm sorry, confused. Now, as I failed to mention, this started out as a high school science fair project. And you're probably wondering how I did. Not terribly well. At least until I pointed out to one of the judges, who was the high school football coach, that I had 6 bottles of beer here, and I was too young to imbibe, but did he know anyone who might be interested? Needless to say, my score began to rise, but not enough, because the other judges were all liberal arts majors. And so that's why, if you decide to do this, you need to carry a well-stocked bar of different types of wines and liqueurs and aperitifs, brandies, cognacs, and even a selection of imported beers. Doing that guarantees you'll win first prize. And with that, I hope you now understand a little more about the important field of quantum mechanics.